With deference to the weather in southern Ontario and the Greater Toronto area, apologies from Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton, standing in the bright sunshine here in the Valley of the Sun, outside Talking Stick Resort in Phoenix, Arizona. The Raptors, Sherm, will try to put that win streak back on track. They had it snapped against the Clippers. Only the 5th time since the 13-14 season they have held a team under 40% from the floor, yet lost the game. They couldn't make shots, and that bench, Sherm, that bench that has been so good for them, kind of let them down in that last loss.
Yeah, and it's rare that they hold a team to under 100 points and still lose a game as well. But you think about the bench and how much value the bench brings to this team now. In a loss, it gets magnified, the fact that the bench wasn't present. But the bench has struggled over the last few games, and now we're seeing a situation where this organization depends on the bench to help them get the W's, and it's a young bench, and a lot of pressure's been put on them, but that's the value they bring. So they're going to have to continually answer the call and understand that this is a bench that teams are looking to go against because they know how good it's been, and they've got to really answer that call and be a team coming off the bench that can provide the punch consistently every night. Young players struggle with that, but consistency is a part of developing as a pro.
Well, consistency, Sherman, the fact that you look at the Raptors schedule, and everybody pointed to this point in the schedule where you had a favorable, set up for a favorable run. You were probably going to be favored as the better team in maybe 9 or 10 games, but that doesn't mean that you never should win in the NBA. We saw the one get away against the Clippers. I guess you don't want to have a streak of losses, so this is a time to stop it and turn it around.
Well, no question about it, and I'm sure when you look at that Clipper game, and I'm sure when the team looked at it on tape, they saw a lot of things that were in their control where they could have come out with a W. So I wouldn't call this a bounce-back game. I would call this a game where the Raptors have to get back to doing what they need to do, understand who they are. We know this is a depleted Phoenix Suns team when you talk about Devin Booker not being in the lineup, but they're going to play hard, and you can't take them for granted. And as a team that's trying to establish themselves on a certain level, you've got to come out and play with the energy and the determination that you want to be viewed at, not at the record that you're playing against.
All right, let's hear from head coach Dwayne Casey and some of the players after practice this morning.
Yeah, I don't think it was just the second unit of the night. I think all of us were playing in mud against the Clippers, and again, we had been making mistakes in those games we were winning, and I had been telling the team that, and they thought I was crazy, but they finally caught up with us. You know, some of the breakdowns we had, the slow base goes, the crackdowns, and the not sandwiching on the rebounds. So we missed some, but then we made enough shots to overcome it. But, you know, again, we have to make sure we are fundamentally sound no matter who we're playing.
You know, we watched the film this morning, and some things we did on there that we can control and be better at. For us, you know, we got to continue to grow, no matter how it is one loss, but we got to continue to learn from each and every single night. You know, we go out here on this floor and figure out how to get our team better every single day.
I think we kind of, you know, coming out at the beginning of the season, we were able to make our mark so quickly and blend so quickly and really make these big jumps, these big strides. I think it kind of makes you forget that it's not really that easy, you know. But at the same time, you know, there's some things that we were doing really well that we're not doing as well right now. And there's some things that we're still, you know, over time picking up. There's going to be times where teams are going to mix some veteran guys in their second group because they know our second group is going to come out and try to, you know, build a gap or take a lead or whatever it may be. And there's going to be, you know, some better players in the groups, or some teams just kind of hyped up because they know that's what we've been doing. It's kind of like when Kyle and DeMar walk in the gym, people kind of, you know, they get hyped up because they want to play against those guys. So now you got a bench that's been told for the last 2 days that the best bench in the league is coming in the gym. They get hyped up for it. So now we got to be able to match everybody's intensity of, you know, just having that mark on your back because everybody's on high alert for it now.
So the Raptors will aim to get back on track. After tonight, no more games outside of the Eastern or Central time zone the rest of the year. They're only a quarter of the way plus through the season. You can see the game tonight, TSN, and hear it on Sportsnet 590 The Fan at 9 o'clock Eastern.